Lumberjack fans. Tim Parrish here at the fields in Moscow, Idaho. I'm not exactly sure the name of the complex, but ready for Game 2 of the Lumberjacks versus the Moscow Bears. And we've got Game 1 out of the way. Lumberjacks won 5-2, and we're getting ready for things to get going here. In the outfield for the Moscow Bears, it'll be Stoddard pitching. Megan Highfield behind home plate. Sydney Verlin over at first base. Sydney Smith at second base. Jessica Smith at third. Fleshman at shortstop. Maya Keys in right. In center, it's Brannon and Ranner in right field. I did not put a number down there for Ranner. We'll just leave it at 0 for now as I get that figured out. And it will be Berkeley McGrill leading off for the Lumberjacks. As we get a change over at third base before the game even starts. It's a number 15, and I'm not sure what the Sparks is. It was supposed to be number 4, but she just went off field for some reason. The first pitch is going to be taken for strike 1 to Berkeley McGrill. Next pitch is hit into right field for a big base hit by Berkeley McGrill. As McGrill is the leadoff batter for the Lumberjacks in this one. Leadoff on for St. Mary's. That'll bring up Jade Telford for the Jacks. On deck for the Lumberjacks is Tacey Watkins. In the hole is Jenna Holder. First pitch misses for ball 1. Telford thought about offering at it, but decided not to, and that was the right decision. Next pitch, ground ball right back at the pitcher. They can roll the double play up if they can get there, and they cannot get it as they get the fielder's choice out at second. One down, runner at first for St. Mary's. Tacey Watkins steps to the plate for the Jacks. And a nice hard hit drive out into center field. The center fielder, Addison Brannon, takes a dive at it, can't get it. They're going to send Telford home, and it's an RBI double for Watkins. First pitch now to Holder is going to be a called strike 1. On deck for the Lumberjacks is Gracie Barden. Next pitch is going to be ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike from Stoddard. Wind the pitch. That is a little looper out to the second baseman who makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up Gracie Barden with 2 outs. 1 run across for the Lumberjacks, top of the first inning. On deck for the Jacks is Miller. First pitch is low, ball 1. Next pitch is ball 2, low. 2 balls, no strikes to Barden. Stoddard looks in. Steps back up to the rubber, readies herself to wind the pitch. Ground ball into the left field. That's going to bring home 1 run. And it's going to be an RBI single for Barden. RBI single grounder out to the left field by Barden. So So 2 down, 2 runs across for St. Mary's. Top of the first inning, Kirsten Miller steps to the plate for the Lumberjacks. That pitch is going to be hit out into right field, and it's over the head of the right fielder, Ranner, and it's a base hit, actually a double with an RBI. They're going to try to get the out at third, and they're not going to. It is safe. Miller gets over to third base on the throw back in and barely beats out the throw. They call her safe at third. 3 runs across for the Lumberjacks here in the top of the first inning. 4 hits already. Stacy Mitchell steps to the plate for the Lumberjacks. First pitch to Mitchell, called strike 1. Pitch on the way. Low for ball number 1. A little bit of a breeze picking up this afternoon. Next pitch, that was off speed like a changeup and got Mitchell swinging way out in front of it. She has a huge smile on her face, shaking her head, going, oh my gosh. I don't know how I swung on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Mitchell. Next pitch on the way. That one's going to be a wild pitch somewhat behind the batter and over to the backstop. Miller not able to advance home on it, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mitchell. The wind, the pitch. That one's down low. Runs the count full to Mitchell. 3 balls, 2 strikes. On deck for St. Mary's, it is Michaela Spray. In the hole, Sammy Badgett. The wind, the pitch. That one's going to be a grounder that just rolls out to the pitcher, and the pitcher gets the throw out down to first. Get the entered in there, and then we'll get you the recap of the inning. 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Lumberjacks in the top of the first lead 3-0, and it'll be Fleshman leading off for the Bears when we return. Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet, to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware is a place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Jack Fuel Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses, and most importantly, people. Jack Fuel Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Fuel Trucking. And we are back in the pitching circle for St. Mary's. In game 2 is Gracie Barden, the senior. She has an ERA of 4.88. And let's see, 78 batters faced and 19 strikeouts on the season. Her first batter will be Isabella Fleshman. On deck will be Stodic. In the hole, Megan Highfill for the Bears. And I will get you the outfield for the Lumberjacks here in just a moment. First pitch. Strike 1 called to Fleshman. We've got Barden in the pitching circle. Holder behind home plate still. Miller at first base for the Lumberjacks. Second base is Michaela Spray. Third is Jade Telford. Shortstop is McGrill. Swing and a foul ball on the next pitch for strike 2. In the outfield, it is Casey Watkins in right, or in left. Sammy Badgett in center. Stacy Mitchell in right field for the Lumberjacks. Bitterman changed up his outfield quite a bit in this one, and the lineup is a little bit different than normal. Next pitch. Just a little low on that next pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Fleshman. Next pitch is going to be a ground ball to McGrill. McGrill's throw to first is in time to record the first out. On the ground out from short to first. 1 down, nobody on in the bottom of the first for the Moscow Bears. Lumberjacks lead 3-0, and it'll be the pitcher, Stoddard. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Her name was not on the roster that I've seen on Idaho Sports, so I don't have a first name. Down low on that pitch. And it's not always the easiest to read the handwriting on the lineup, so I think her name is Stoddard. Wind the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop once again. Berkeley scoop the throw. Oh! The throw pulled her just off, and she is safe. I'm going to call it an E. So runner on first now with 1 down. Megan Highfill. First pitch of the ground ball is going to get out into the gap into the left, and it's a base hit for Highfill. Sharp hit grounder out to center field. Runners at first and second. One down. First pitch to Verlin is going to be up high, ball 1. Bears have 1 out, runners on second and first. Next pitch is a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Verlin. On deck will be Ranner, another one that was not on the rosters that I found for the Bears. That pitch is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Verlin. And fouled off once again. 1 ball, 2 strikes still to Verlin. Runners at first and second for the Bears. Lumberjacks lead 3-0, bottom in the bottom of the first inning. And that one's going to get her just on the forearm, and she's hit by pitch. That'll load the bases with the hit by pitch just on the forearm of Verlin. That'll be up, I believe, Ranner, number 12. And Ranner's going to swing at the first pitch for strike 1. 1 out, bases loaded now for the Moscow Bears. Ranner with a 1-strike count to her. Barton looks in, gets her signals from Holder. Now steps to the rubber. The wind, the pitch. Ground ball going to be hit to McGrill. No, it gets right through McGrill. 1 run comes across. 2 is going to come across. I'm going to call that an error. I don't want to. It's a sharp ground ball that just gets through and brings a run across. Brings 2 runs across. Runners still at first and second. Lumberjacks lead is 3-2 now. 1 out. Ball 1 on that first pitch to Sydney Smith. They're going to try to get the pickoff attempt, but they can't quite get her. Going to get everybody reset after the pickle attempt there. That pitch is going to be high. 2 balls, no strikes now to Smith. Stolen base. And the Bears have runners at second and third now with 1 out. 3-2 the score. Lumberjacks lead. Bottom of the first. Barton waiting for the runner on third base, Verlin, to get her shoe tied. Now they're ready to go. Barton, the line, the pitch, the swing. It's a ground ball. It's going to be the glove of Barton. Can't quite get on it. And it probably could be another error, but I'm going to give it as a single and an advance there by the runners, as we actually only end up with 1 runner advancing. The order shows Keys up to bat, and this is number 4, Jessica Smith. Stepping up to the plate. Not sure if they have a change here in their order or not. Keys shows to be on deck. That is hit out into left field. Watkins is going to scoop it up and get the throw in, but hold the runner at third. Bases loaded on the single. The bases loaded, tie ball game, bottom of the first inning, 3-3. Now we've got Keys taking a first pitch, ball 1. Barton gets her signals, toes the rubber, the wind, and the pitch on the way. That one's going to be a little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes. Now to Keys, the go-ahead run sitting at third for the Moscow Bears, as we're all tied up 3-3 here in the bottom of the first inning. Next hit, that one is a line drive out into right or left field. The throw is going to be back in to hold the runners at third. Hold the runner at third, so an RBI single gives the Bears a lead on a little line drive. Four runs across here in the bottom of the first for the Bears. 4-3, they claim the lead. Base is still loaded. And this is Addison Brannon with an outside pitch, ball 1. Next pitch is up high, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Brannon. Let's wind up the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 balls and a strike to Brannon. Wind the pitch. That one's going to be up high. 3 balls and a strike to Brannon. Wind the pitch. Leaves that one high as well. Ball 4, and that brings another run across. Top of the order back to Fleshman. She grounded out in her first at bat. Coach Bitterman going to go out and talk to his infield and his pitcher. And it looks like we're making some changes already in the pitching circle. And let's go ahead and take a break while they get the defensive changes made.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 50,000 high school student athletes in Idaho have one last request. Please set an example. Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Idaho high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. Coach Bitterman elects to go back to Watkins in the pitching circle. Barden goes to shortstop. Berkeley McGrill goes out to right field. Fleshman takes the first pitch down low, ball one. The team is missing a few of their players, or not really a few of their players, but they've split the team up a little bit as the JV team is playing in Post Falls today. Next pitch is going to be a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fleshman. The Bears have 5 runs across, 5-3. They lead in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Fleshman. The pitch on the way. That one is going to be a pop-up, and it's a nice catch by Jenna Holder as she is able to get that fly out back here up against the netting. Runners are held up on the bags. 2 outs now for the Bears. Stoddard to the plate. Reached on an error. First pitch is a strike 1 as she swung at it. Watkins the line, the pitch. That one's a little high. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stoddard. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Stoddard. The wind up the pitch. Oh, that looked like a gorgeous pitch, but it's going to be a called ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. And now we'll retire the sides. The Bears do come up, though, with 5 runs on 4 hits. There were 2 errors, 3 left on base. The score going into the top of the second. It is 5-3 in favor of Moscow. And it will be Michaela Spray leading off when we return.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of our community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of big truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's. And we are back. Tim Parrish live in Moscow, Idaho. Lumberjacks taking on the Bears for Lumberjacks softball. First pitch to Michaela Spray, inside, ball 1 from Stoddard. Lumberjacks trail 5-3 after starting off with a 3-0 lead in the top of the first. Moscow fires back with 5 runs in the bottom of the first. Now we get a ground ball from Michaela Spray. It's going to just dribble out to the first pitcher, And the throw to first is in time for the first out. That'll bring up Sammy Badgett batting in the number 9 slot. On deck is Berkeley McGrill. Both teams with 4 hits apiece in the first inning. Pitch on the way. That one's down low for ball 1. Wind up the pitch. Ground ball out to the shortstop. The throw to first is in time. 2 down for the Lumberjacks. Berkeley McGrill steps up, top of the order. She had a single, her first at bat. On deck is Telford. McGrill takes a swing at that first pitch, and it is going to be caught by the first baseman as she pops it up foul. And it was a running charge from that first baseman all the way here right in front of me for that third out. 3 up, 3 down for the Lumberjacks. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base to score into the bottom of the second. It's 5-3 in favor of Moscow. And the Bears will have Highfield leading off when we come back.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades, and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs so they quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and Lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years' experience, there's no job too big or too small. From industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benoit, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
And we are back, and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I know Jenna Holder was talking to the umpire, home plate umpire, after that last inning. Now, the umpire was down talking to the coach for the Bears. I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but there was something happening. First pitch now to number 10. Megan Highfield is a ball 1. Next pitch is a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Highfield. She has a single in her first at-bat. That was out to right field. The wind-up, the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Highfield. Watkins, the wind, the pitch. Going to foul that one off. Stay alive at the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Highfield. Watkins gets her signals from Holder. The wind, the pitch on the way. Took a little bit off that one. It's going to be ball 2, though, as that one misses a little bit high and outside. Watkins, the wind-up, and the pitch. And that one is fouled up and over. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Highfield. No outs here. Bottom of the second inning. Lumberjacks trail 5-3. The wind, the pitch. That one is a deep shot that I think is going to go foul, and I think it was all the way out of play. Berkeley McGrill was hustling out there, though, to try to get to that. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs. Bottom of the second. Everybody resetting after the foul ball. Watkins waiting. Toe on the rubber, ready to go. The wind and the pitch on the way, and fouled back again as Highfield battles at the plate. Watkins back up to the rubber. Looks in to Holder. The wind, the pitch. Another foul ball. I think ninth or 10th pitch. 9th pitch, 10th pitch on the way. And yet another foul ball. Highfield and Watkins with a battle going here. 10 pitches now to Highfield. Watkins, the line, the pitch, the swing, and a miss. Strike 3, and she retires Highfield after a good battle. That'll bring up Sydney Verlin, who was hit by pitch in her first at-bat. First pitch to Watkins first pitch to Verlin looked beautiful, but it's going to be called ball 1. Watkins, the wind, the pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Verlin. The 1-1 pitch on the way. That one is going to be fouled off. You're going to get a change-up on that one. It's a little slower pace. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Verlin. Watkins ready. The wind, the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 3 strikeouts now for Watkins. That'll bring up Ranner with 2 outs, nobody on. Reached on error her last at bat. The windup, the pitch. Strike 1 called. Watkins looking in, getting their signals, waiting for Ranner to be ready. Next pitch comes out a little early. Ball 1, nice stop by Holder at home plate. Nobody on, so it doesn't really matter too much. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Ranner. The wind, the pitch on the way. Swing and miss, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ranner steps back in. Move. Watkins was ready in for the pitch, but Ranner was not quite ready. Pitch on the way, and that one's going to miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch. Strike 3 called, and they're going to get her looking, and that will retire the sides. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. 4 strikeouts for Watkins, and when we come back, it'll be Jade Telford at the plate.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With 6 professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing needs or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
And we are back, and the next 3 up for the Lumberjacks, it'll be Telford, Watkins, and Holder. Stoddard pitching for the Bears. She has 23 pitches. Watkins with 29, but Watkins has actually only pitched just a little bit over 1 inning. No, a little bit over 1 inning. She came in the middle of the first. Telford reached on a fielder's choice, their last at bat. The wind, the pitch, and a line drive into center field on the first pitch, and it's an RBI, not an RBI, it's a single on the line drive. That'll bring up Watkins. On deck is Holder. Watkins had a double her last at bat all the way to the right field or left field fence. Pitch on the way. Oh, that was definitely a change-up looking pitch and going to get her looking on strike 1. Watkins, a deep breath. Look at her bat. Now ready. There's a couple of ducks flying over the outfield. The wind-up to pitch. Low for ball one. And Jade Telford just barely gets over safe on the stolen base. Runner in scoring position for the Lumberjacks. They need 2 runs across to tie it up. The score is 5-3 in favor of the Bears. Pitch on the way, and that is hit out into right field, and that's going to go to the fence. Coming around the score is Telford, and standing up on the double is Watkins. Double out to right field. Brings 1 run across with no outs. Jenna Holder to the plate for the Lumberjacks. She flew out in her first at-bat. The windup and the pitch. That is hit into center field for a base hit. Let's see if it's going to be more than a base hit. And she's going to slide in safe at second. Brings in another run, and we tie things up. Lumberjacks tie things up. Going to get a courtesy runner for Holder. Lexi Fuller comes in to run. Still no outs and a runner on second. The go-ahead run sitting at second base for the Lumberjacks. That pitch is high, ball one. Barden singled her first at bat in this one out to right or left field. The wind and the pitch. Down low. 2 balls, no strikes to Barden. Miller on deck for St. Mary's. The wind and the pitch. That's a ground ball that just drifts foul down the third base line. 2 balls and a strike now to Barden. Two balls and a strike as Static readies the next pitch on the way. That one was a little bit high, and she's going to swing for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Barden. No outs. Runner at second base for the Lumberjacks. That is the go-ahead run waiting at second. Pitch on the way. Inside. Looked like that change-up pitch that got Stacy Watkins on one of the first pitches she took earlier, as that one came across slower than the other pitches. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch. And that's going to be down low. Ball 4. Sends Barden down to first base, and it'll bring up Kirsten Miller, who doubled out to right field in her first at-bat. Still no outs, and on deck is Stacy Mitchell. I was talking to Bitterman a minute ago about the fact I had her for ball 1 to Miller, that I had Mitchell down with 2 home runs on the game, on the season, but he said he might have changed that earlier one to a triple and a reach to home on an error. Next pitch is going to be hit deep into center, and it's going to be caught for an out. Fuller is going to get over to second or to third on the throw. Miller flew out to center field. On the throw for Fuller to third. So the go-ahead run is in scoring position. 2 outs, no, 1 out, and Stacy Mitchell up. Mitchell grounded out her first at bat. Pitch down low. Ball 1 to Mitchell. The wind, the pitch on the way. That is a little fly ball out to the second baseman, and the second baseman makes the catch for the second out. Everybody else held up, as that was Sydney Smith with the catch for the out. That'll bring up Michaela Spray, who grounded out. Spray with 2 outs. That one comes in low for ball number 1. The wind up, the pitch on the way. That was a nice-looking pitch. It's a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Spray. Next pitch is going to be low. 2 balls and a strike to Michaela Spray. Runners on the corners for St. Mary's with 2 outs. Top of the 3rd. Lumberjacks with 2 runs across. They've tied it up at 5 runs apiece. That's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be hit to the second baseman. The second baseman is booting it, and Spray is safe. As Sydney Smith with the error, she couldn't quite get that ball pulled in time. And she is going to be safe. And the run does come across for St. Mary's as well. So the Lumberjacks go ahead. First pitch to Badgett is fouled back for strike 1. The Lumberjacks take a 1-run lead, 6-5 over the Bears here in the top of the 3rd. Next pitch fouled off again by Badgett. Badgett down 0-2 in the count. Runners at first and second. The wind and the pitch. That's going to be a foul ball down the third baseline. To the count still to Badgett. Badgett grounded out in her first at bat. The wind, the pitch on the way, and the swing down in front of that one. It's going to be safe on the drop third strike. They missed the tag at first base. I'm not sure that would actually be considered an error or not, but anyways, bases loaded with 2 outs. McGrill is up. Single and a ground out for her. First pitch is taken for a called strike 1 to McGrill. On deck is Telford for the Lumberjacks. The pitch, it's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. McGrill down 0-2 in the count now to Stodick. Wind up the pitch. That's a change-up off-speed pitch. Again, it comes up short. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to McGrill. Stodick toes the rubber, the wind, and the pitch. Ground ball right back to the pitcher, though. The throw to first is in time, and that will retire the sides. The Lumberjacks do come up with 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 3 left on base. Into the bottom of the 3rd, it's St. Mary's up 6-5. Sydney Smith leading off when we return.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With large, spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido.
If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull Infused or Lotus Energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It is Sydney Smith leading off for the Bears. She is batting in the number 6 slot. First pitch is low for ball 1 from Watkins. She did hit a single in her first at bat. Second pitch is high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes to Smith. Watkins, the windup and the pitch on the way. That one's up high. 3 balls, no strikes to Smith. Three balls, no strikes to Smith. Next pitch from Watkins. That one's going to be ball 4. I think they say it was inside. So 4 pitches, 4 balls. No outs. That'll bring up Jessica Smith, who singled to right field, or left field, her first at bat. The wind, the pitch. High outside, ball 1. Try to throw down over to first base and did not get it. Runner was back in time. Watkins getting her signals from Holder. Batter steps into the box, ready to go. The wind, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Smith. Watkins has 4 strikeouts in this game. Martin had 1 strikeout in her time in the pitching circle. The line to the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Smith. Watkins looks in, gets her signals. Runner on first is Smith for the Bears. They have no outs. Bottom of the 3rd. Bears trail 6-5. That's going to be a foul ball down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Watkins looks in, gets her signals. Says no to the first signal. Now the pitch is on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 5th strikeout for Watkins. 1 down. Runner on first for the Bears. That brings up Maya Keys. She hit a single out to right field. First pitch fouled back, strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Keys. Watkins, the wind to the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Keys. On deck is Brannon. I do believe batting that number 9 spot. Watkins, wind up, pitch on the way. That one's a little bit high. She wouldn't chase. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Keys, 1 out. Runner on first. Bottom of the 3rd. The wind up, the pitch. And that one is going to be fouled just over the net. Backstop. Bangs off the aluminum bleachers that are right behind home plate. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Keys. The wind, the pitch. Outside corner, strike 3. Catches are looking. Strikeout number 6 for Watkins. 2 down, runner on first. Addison Brannon walked her first at bat. Left-handed batter. Steps into the box, ready to go. Wind, the pitch. That one's fouled off for strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Brannon. Get the ball back out to Watkins. Watkins toes the rubber, ready for action. The wind and the pitch. That one's down low. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Going to try to throw down over to first base. Can't quite get there in time as Smith is able to get back to the bag. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brannon. The wind, the pitch. That one misses outside, I guess. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. The wind, the pitch on the way. That one's called a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brannon. The wind, the pitch. Low and outside. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nice stop by Holder behind home plate. Brennan steps back in. Watkins looks in. The wind, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that will retire the sides. It was no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base into the top of the 4th inning. St. Mary's leads 6-5. We'll be back.
What do basketball, choir, drama clubs, and marching bands all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Idaho high school budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Spring is here, and you can make your home beautiful this summer with help from 10th Street Lumber. Besides all the building materials you'll ever need, 10th Street Lumber has landscaping supplies. They have landscaping bricks, concrete bricks, paving bricks, as well as planting materials. So stop by today, whether you're building a deck, a patio, or planting flowers, 10th Street Lumber has it all. 10th Street Lumber at 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, right here in St. Mary's.
And we are back. A quick thank you to all of our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors. Without them, we wouldn't be able to be here bringing you the action live if you can't make it to the games in person. It'll be Jade Telford leading off. She reached on a fielder's choice and has a single. And that first pitch is going to be fouled off. Casey Watkins was trying to figure out where it was going to go, and it almost actually got her in the helmet as she's waiting in the batter circle. 0-1 count to Telford. That one's that off-speed changeup that comes up short for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Telford. On deck is Watkins. The windup and the pitch. That looked good at first, but dropped off a little bit low on the way by and maybe inside. 2 balls and a strike now to Telford. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 4th inning. Pitch on the way, and that's a line drive out in the left field for the single by Telford. Nice way to get things started here for the Lumberjacks. That'll bring Watkins to the plate. Watkins has 2 doubles in this game so far, and those doubles are actually the opposite sides of the field, 1 to right and 1 to left. On deck for the Lumberjacks, it is Holder. First pitch is a called strike 1. Telford gets the stolen base. Stoddard looks in, gets her signals from Highfield behind home plate. The wind and the pitch on the way, and that is blopped over the top into right field, and it's going to be just past the right fielder's hand, and it's going to be an RBI double. First pitch to Holder is ball 1. I'm going to call it an error on Ranner because that's how Watkins got over the second base, as they misplayed that ball just enough and didn't get it in. That is going to be it's a foul ball that kind of just blooped, little fly ball back behind Holder, and the catcher, Highfield, able to locate it on a tough play and be able to snag it right there at home plate. Watkins stayed at second base, so one down. Gracie Barden takes the first pitch, I believe, for ball one. Stodic, the wind, the pitch on the way, and that's a little fly ball on the infield, and calling for it is the shortstop, Fleshman, to make the out on the fly out. So two down now for the Lumberjacks. They have one run across here in the top of the fourth, giving them a 7-5 lead. Miller steps to the plate with Watkins at second base and two outs. On deck is Mitchell. A double and a fly out for Miller. That ball looked kind of low, but he's going to call it a strike. That looked at the knees or below. 0-1 count to Miller. Stodic, the wind, the pitch on the way, and that was a nice pitch. Ground ball into the gap, and it's going to be a base hit. And is it going to be an RBI? No. Yes, it is. They're not going to try to throw it in as they throw it into the infield to hold Miller at second or at first. RBI single for Miller. That brings up Stacy Mitchell with two outs. Ground out and a fly out for Mitchell, so she's looking for something a little different here. The pitch on the way. Comes up a little short, ball one. 10 hits for the Lumberjacks here in the game. 4 hits for the Bears. The wind, the pitch. Nice looking pitch. He swings and just gets just a piece of it. Dribbles it back out to the pitcher, and it's going to be an easy ground out from 1-3. Lumberjacks come up with 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error, 1 left on base. It is 8-5 in favor of the Lumberjacks. We'll be back.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oaks at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oaks a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
And we are back as the warm-up was quick in that one. St. Mary's leads 8-5 going into the bottom of the fourth. The Bears put up 5 runs in the first inning. They have been scoreless in the last 2. Leading off is Fleshman, the top of the order for the Moscow Bears. Fly out and a ground out for her. Outside, ball 1. Nice stop by Holder. 7 strikeouts coming into the bottom of this inning for Watkins, and that one's low. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The wind, the 2-0 pitch. And that one is fouled back for strike 1. Two balls and a strike to Fleshman. On deck is Stodic. The wind-up, the pitch. That is hit foul down the right field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Reset up the foul ball. The wind, the pitch. That is a high fly ball. Watkins calling for it, making a catch at the pitcher's circle. One down. That brings up Stodic. I believe so. The pitcher, she reached on an error first at bat, struck out swinging her second at bat. The wind up, the pitch. That one's a little bit high. Ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. To Stodic, 1 out, nobody on for the Bears. St. Mary's leads 8-5 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The wind-up to pitch. That one looks like it's a little high as well. 2 balls, no strikes. Watkins gets her signals. The wind of the pitch. I believe that one misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes now to Stoddard. Stoddard getting her signals from her pitching coach. Looks at her wristband. Now sets back into the box. The wind up, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be a called strike at the knees. 3 balls and a strike. Probably told to take that pitch anyways. Being up 3-0 in the count. Next pitch on the way. And that one just low. Looked like she was trying to do that same one, and it's going to miss low for ball 4. 1 out. Stoddard walks down to first. That'll bring up Megan Highfield, who struck out swinging in her last at-bat. She has a single to right field in her first at-bat. First pitch is a called strike 1. Highfield checked her swing. She thought it was going to be a ball. Instead, she gets the strike call from the umpire. 0-1 count to Highfield. That pitch is a ground ball out into left field. And it's a base hit. Base hit for Highfield. Puts her on to first. Runners at first and second. Sydney Verlin up to the plate for the Bears with 1 down. Verlin was hit by pitch. Her first at bat, struck out swinging. Her last at bat, that's a fastball for strike 1. The wind, the pitch. And misses ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. To Verlin with 1 out. The wind-up and the pitch. Oh, that one misses up high. Looks like that fastball got away from her just a bit. 2 balls and a strike. Next pitch. That one stays down low. 3 balls and a strike. Next pitch. And that one's going to be low as well, just low, ball 4, and walks the bases loaded. Watkins, or Bitterman, going to call time, head out to the pitching circle. Bases loaded with 1 down for the Bears. Lumberjacks lead is 8-5 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. See if Lumberjacks can get out of this here little jam they're in. Bitterman giving some instruction to his whole infield and his pitcher. And he heads back after the conference. Jay Ranner to the plate for the Bears. Struck out looking her last at bat. Watkins, the wind, the pitch. That one's going to be in the dirt. And a pass ball, well, I'm going to call that one as it brings a run in, and the other runners will advance, so the base is no longer loaded. First base is open. Runners at second and third. The score now 8-6 in favor of the Lumberjacks. The wind and the pitch. That's a called strike. Watkins looks in, gets her signal. The wind up, the pitch on the way. That looked like a fastball as well. Strike 2. One-two count to Ranner with 1 out. Bases not loaded. There's runners at second and third. The wind up, the pitch. That one was really low. It was not in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind, the pitch. Swing and a miss Strike 3. That's out number 2. Brings up Sydney Smith. She walked her blasted bat, singled her first. First pitch is a ground ball to Spray, and Spray gets the throw to first in time for the out. And the Lumberjacks do a good job defensively getting out of that jam. Only one run comes across for the Bears. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. The score is St. Mary's 8, Bears 6 going into the top of the 5th, and it will be Michaela Spray leading off when we return.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
And we are back. Stoddard continues in the pitching circle for the Bears. See if I can get a quick pitching comparison between the two. I don't think Stoddard has any strikeouts yet. She does have 1. 1 strikeout for Stoddard for the Bears. Watkins has 8 strikeouts in the game. Michaela Spray leading off for St. Mary's. She has a ground out and reached on an error. Both teams, according to my unofficial numbers, 2 errors apiece. 10 hits for the Lumberjacks, 5 hits for Moscow. 2 errors apiece. 5 left on base for the Jacks, 6 left on base for the Bears. First pitch is a strike. The wind and the pitch. That is hit into right field, and making the catch is Lanner for the first out. So fly out to the right fielder. That'll bring up Sammy Badgett. Sammy Badgett reached on a drop third strike in her last at bat, grounded out in her first at bat. On deck, it'll be the top of the order, Berkeley McGrill. First pitch, she's going to reach for a bunt there, and going to not be, I think it might have been actually a foul. 0-1 count to Badgett. Pitch on the way. Swing at that one. It's strike 2. Oh, 2 the count to Badgett. Now she needs to protect. Wind the pitch. That one she's going to get a piece of. Send it foul down the third base line. 0-2 the count to Badgett. Wind the pitch. In the dirt for ball 2. Ball 1. 1-2 count. That one's in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Badgett. Stoddard looks in, gets her signals from Highfield, steps to the rubber. Pitch on the way, and that one was a high one that Sammy Badgett gets a piece of, fouls it off. 72 pitches for Stoddard here into the 5th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Badgett. Stoddard back to the rubber. The wind and the pitch on the way, and that one is going to be a little tapper. The third baseman is going to pull it up but not be able to get it in time. That little bitty soft ground ball that was just into a spot that was hard for anybody to get to sends Badgett to first with the single. That'll bring up Berkeley McGrill, who has a single, a ground out, and a ground out. 1 down, top of the order for the Lumberjacks. As a perfect-looking pitch, strike 1 called down the middle. The wind and the pitch. That's on the outside. Strike 2. And they're going to call Badgett out, caught stealing. And that is out number 2 for the Lumberjacks. Berkeley McGrill down 0-2 in the count. Jade Telford on deck for St. Mary's if McGrill gets on base. The wind, the pitch. Line drive right back to the pitcher. And the pitcher snags that thing right out of the air. And Lumberjacks are not able to get anything going here in the top of the 5th. They still lead 8-6. No runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. St. Mary's is up 8-6, and it'll be Jessica Smith leading off for the Bears when we return.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college design, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938, insured by NCUA.
And we are back, bottom of the 5th inning. Lumberjacks lead 8-6. You're listening to Lumberjack Softball live from Moscow, Idaho, on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's on your AM dial. I am Tim Parrish on the call. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Jessica Smith. Smith, a single and a strikeout. That one's going to be fouled off. Fouled off for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Smith. Watkins steps back up, toes rubber, gets her signals from Holder, says no to the first one. Now she's ready to wind the pitch. That one's going to be an off-speed, maybe like a rise ball for ball 2 as that one misses up high. 2 balls and a strike. Watkins, the wind, the pitch. That's a fastball down the middle for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch is up high, but swung at and fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still Smith. Watkins gets her signal. The wind and the pitch. Again, fouled off. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes to Smith. The wind and the pitch. Outside. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Smith. The windup and the pitch. Oh, that was a nice-looking fastball. The umpire said it's just a little low, and it's ball 4 to Smith. I think they're trying to get a courtesy runner out to Smith on first base. Mari Bethel coming out to courtesy run. Maya Keys to the plate for the Bears. The Bears trail by 2 runs, 8-6 here in the bottom of the 5th. Maya Keys has a single and a strikeout looking. Nobody out, runner on first for the Bears. Watkins in the pitching circle for the Lumberjacks. Toes the rubber, gets her signals, looking for her signals from Holder. The wind and the pitch. That is a foul ball that is going to be foul. One strike now to Keys. One count after the long strike. The wind, the pitch. That's a fastball strike down the middle. The wind, the pitch. That is a line drive that she hits out into left field for a base hit. So runners on first and second for the Bears. So the tying run is represented at first base for the Bears. No outs. Brannon squares up to bunt. And that's going to be ball one outside. Left-handed batter. The wind, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brannon. Brannon, the bottom of the order. The wind, the pitch. And that looked like a good pitch, and they call it ball 2. That's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind and the 2-2 pitch. Drop third strike. Oh, it's the first base was occupied. Go back or no? First pitch to Fleshman is a called strike. 1 out, runners at second and third for the Bears. The wind up the pitch, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Fleshman. Fleshman a ground out and a fly out. That's a ball that's hit right at the third baseman. The third baseman can't get it. And oh, they got her, I think. No, they're going to call her safe. A hard-hit little line drive that gets right off the glove of Telford. One runner does advance, and Isabella Fleshman looked like she was going to be out at second, but she's able to get under the tag, I guess. That's a strike to Stodic on the first pitch. He has an error, reached on an error, strikeout, swing, and a walk. 8-7 in favor of St. Mary's. That pitch misses on the change up for ball 1. The wind and the pitch. That's a strike. Called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The line, the pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3, and she retires the batter. And that's strikeout number 10. Oh, no, for Watkins. I just said, oh, no, because I just put a big old pin mark on my pants. First pitch to Highfield is going to be strike 1 called. She has a single, a strikeout, and a single. Next pitch is a swing and a miss. Strike 2. And a third pitch and a third swing and a strike 3 to retire the sides. The Bears, Duke, I almost call them the Badgers, The Bears do come up with 1 run on 2 hits, 1 no errors, and 2 left on base. St. Mary's leads 8-7 going into the top of the 6th, and it will be Jade Telford leading off when we return.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch. Breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's. Brent's Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Brent's Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Brent's Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Brent's Electric in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It'll be Jade Telford leading off for the Lumberjacks here in the top of the 6th inning. St. Mary's leads 8-7. Stoddard continues in the pitching circle for the Bears. She has a total of 76 pitches, 26 balls, 50 strikes. Umpire and the coach or manager for the Bears going over, I think, the lineup for the Bears. Doesn't look like anything changed defensively. Actually, we do have change at third base again as Angel Sparks is back in there. First pitch to Telford is up high. Ball 1. Stoddard only has 1 strikeout in the game, I believe. Next pitch is going to be a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Telford. Telford has reached on all 3 of her plate appearances, fielder's choice and 2 singles. The pitch on the way. In the dirt. In the dirt, ball 1, 2 balls and a strike. That one was ball low. 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1 count to Telford. Stoddard toes the rubber, the line, the pitch. And that is tagged out into left field, and it just goes foul. Runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Telford tried to give that one a ride down the left field. The wind and the pitch. Ball low, and that'll walk Telford down to first base. That'll bring up Casey Watkins with on deck Jenna Holder. Watkins, a double, and a single. She is 3 for 3 in this game. Little conference at the pitching rubber by the infield for the Bears. No outs, runner at first for St. Mary's. Now everybody's ready. Casey Watkins does her ritual. She takes a look at her barrel of her bat, steps into the box. Pitch on the way. Ground ball. It's going to be hit to the shortstop. They're going to try to turn the double play. They can't do it as they had to make sure they stepped on the bag to get the force out. So it's a fielder's choice this time for Watkins. One down with a runner at first for St. Mary's. That brings up Jenna Holder. Holder is 1 for 3, 2 flyouts and a double. I believe the first pitch was ball 1. Next pitch is a ground ball. It's hit right to the second baseman. And the second baseman, they get to throw to second for the fielder's choice, and they can't turn the double play as Holder is safe. That'll bring up Grace Barden with 2 down and a runner at first for St. Mary's, as Holder gets the courtesy runner. And there's a hit out into left field for Barden. Then an error on the way in. Then we get an error, and Fuller gets out to second for the third, and Barden the second on that same error. That brings up Kirsten Miller. Miller singled her last at bat. Takes a swing at the first pitch, fouls it off for strike one. On deck is Mitchell. A double, a fly out, and a single for Miller. Runners in scoring position for St. Mary's at second and third. Looking for a poke into the outfield to try to bring one of them in. And there's that off-speed pitch. That's going to be dropped for a base hit just in the infield dirt. 2 runs are going to come across. Yes, they do. The 2 RBI single for Kirsten Miller. Lumberjacks pick up 2 more runs on the Bears. They lead 10-7, top of the 6th inning. Runner on first for St. Mary's is Miller. Stacy Mitchell to the plate. Mitchell a ground out and a fly out and a ground out. First pitch is going to be a called strike. Cloud cover moving in, a little chillier this afternoon. That one's fouled off for strike one, or strike 2. Mitchell down 0-2 in the count now to Stodic. Stodic looks in, toes the rubber. The wind, the pitch. That was a good-looking pitch. I don't know how she held up on that one, but Stacy Mitchell goes down looking. Lumberjacks do come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error. There was 1 left on base. Into the bottom of the 6th. It is St. Mary's leading 10-7. We'll be back.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back here here in Moscow, Idaho. Like I said, I don't 100% know what the name of the fields are here in Moscow. You got a nice complex here. I think there's 3 softball fields, or maybe 2 softball fields, and a baseball field. Berlin leading off, and it's going to be low for ball 1. Watkins with 99 pitches in this one, and that one is hit into right field. It's going to be into the gap just over the head of Mitchell, and Verlin heads for third. And is she going to have an infield home run? No, she is not going to get the infield home run, but it is a big triple by Verlin, the biggest hit so far of the game, on a big fly ball out to right field, just over the head of Stacy Mitchell. So no outs and a runner in scoring position. Jay Ranner to the plate. She has reached on an error and struck out her last 2 at-bats. One's looking, one's swinging. And she swings at the first pitch for a call for a strike 1. Not a called strike 1. Watkins looking in. Ranner Steps back into the batter's box. The windup, the pitch. Another swing and a miss. Strike two as Watkins spins him right past her. Watkins 11 strikeouts here in this one. Down in the count, 0-2 is Ranner. The wind, the pitch, and that is going to be smoked down the left field line and out of play for a foul ball. She straightens that up. That could be almost over the fence for a home run. Next pitch is going to paint the outside corner for a called strike three. 12 strikeouts now for Mitchell. She had 13 in the first game, 12 strikeouts in this one. First pitch to Sydney Smith is a swing and a miss for strike one on a what looked like a changeup, kind of an off-speed pitch there. Next pitch is a fastball down low, and she's going to swing at that one for strike two. 0-2 count with one out. Runner at third. And going to ring her up on a 3-pitch at bat. Gets her looking for strike three. Should bring up Jessica Smith. 2 outs. Runner at third for the Bears. Single, a strikeout, and a walk. First pitch fouled off. Strike one. 0-1 count to Smith. The windup, the pitch on the way, and that one's going to be fouled back. Strike two. Smith steps back into the batter's box. Down 0-2 to Watkins. The pitch on the way, and that is going to be chopped up. It's foul. And Mitchell can't quite get to it in time to catch it for the out. Smith returns back to finish her at bat here with an 0-2 count. The wind of the pitch. Ground ball. It's going to be under the glove of Spray. Spray able to track it down, but an error there on the Lumberjacks. The one run does come across with 2 outs. That'll bring up Maya Keys. Single, strikeout looking, and a single. Pinch runner out there for Jessica Smith, courtesy runner. Looks like it's number 1. I thought Sydney Smith was in the batting order. No, number 6. Bethel. First pitch to Keys is a line drive to center field, but it's going to be caught by Sammy Badgett for the out, and that will retire the sides. The Bears come up with 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. It is the Lumberjacks 10, the Bears 8. Will be back.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is asking for your help. The Booster Club continues to provide needed sports equipment for the St. Mary's High School sports program. But what they have planned next is big. The Booster Club is in the process of building a new sports complex on land next to the high school parking lot. This new sports complex will include a baseball field, softball field, and soccer field. The field will be built according to professionally engineered plans and will be ADA compliant so all Lumberjack fans can enjoy the game. The Booster Club thanks the community for their support throughout the years. With your support, Phase 1 will begin this summer. If you're interested in donating to the new sports complex project, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-568-0288 for details. Let's all come together and get this new complex built for the student body and the community.
And we are back. Stoddard continues in the pitching circle for the Lumberjacks, or for the Bears, I should say. It'll be Michaela Spray leading off for St. Mary's on deck. It looks like we have no, it is not a change. Sammy just took off her jacket. So Sammy Badgett on deck. Michaela Spray, a ground out, reached on an error, and a fly out. Stoddard with just one strikeout in the game. And a swing at the first pitch is a fly ball. 4 out number 1. First baseman comes up and makes the catch. That'll bring up Sammy Badgett, who has a ground out, a dropped third strike, and a single. She made it on that dropped third strike, too, actually. Lumberjack boys are going to be here in Moscow tomorrow. Wind up pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Stoddard goes the rubber, the wind-up, the pitch on the way. That one's behind Badgett for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Badgett. Next pitch is a ball. 3 balls, no strikes to Badgett. Jay Ranner is over at third base now for the Bears. That pitch is going to be a called strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Badgett. Next pitch. That one misses for ball 4, and that'll walk Badgett down to first. That'll bring up Berkeley McGrill, the top of the order, with 1 out for the Lumberjacks. On deck will be Telford. Berkeley a single, a ground out, and I'm not sure what that other one was I put on there. I think that was a strike. Wind the pitch. That's a strike called. I think it's a 2-0-2 count to McGrill. Gonna swing at that next one, and it's going to be strike 3. And Stoddard gets her second strikeout of the game. This is the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Telford is going to be a strike 1 called. Badgett slides into second on a stolen base. Safe. A lot of umpire had to wait for the dust to settle out there. 0-1 count to Telford. She has a fielder's choice, 2 singles, and a walk. And that's a swing and a hit for Telford. Badgett rounds third and comes on home. RBI single out to the right field by Telford. That'll bring up Watkins with 2 outs. Runner at first for the Lumberjacks. On deck is Holder. First pitch to Watkins outside, ball 1. Telford over to second on the stolen base. St. Mary's re-extends the lead back out to 11-8, a 3-run lead for St. Mary's. The line, the pitch, that is hit into right field, and it's going to be a base hit. Runners left at the corners for St. Mary's. Little blooper of a pop fly out into right field. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Jenna Holder steps to the plate. Holder, a fly out, a double, a fly out, and a fielder's choice. Stoddard, 104 pitchers. The windup, the pitch. That's a little pop-up on the infield, and it's caught by the shortstop for the out. That's Isabella Fleshman, and that will retire the sides. St. Mary's comes up with 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Lumberjacks hold on to just a 3-run lead going into the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with Brannon leading off for the Bears.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of Lumberjack sports, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those Lumberjacks.
And we are back. Bottom of the 7th inning. Can the Lumberjacks hold on to the win here? As we have Watkins still in the pitching circle. 112 pitches for her in this game. 37 balls, 75 strikes. She has 13 strikeouts in the game. She'll be facing off against Addison Brannon here, the bottom of the order for the Bears. And Brannon has walked and then struck out swinging her last 2 at-bats. Looks like we're getting some more order change or something going on here as the umpire talking with the coach or manager for the Bears. Holder goes out and talks to Watkins real quick. The lefty Brannon comes back to the box, and we're getting ready to get things rolling here. Watkins checks over her outfield real quick as they're waiting for the coach to get over to first base for the Bears. St. Mary's with a 3-run lead. First pitch, she's going to square up to bunt, and it's going to be a foul ball. Strike 1 to Addison Brannon. Well, they're going to call an out there. I'm not exactly sure what for. I'm going to say out of box. I don't know. And that is going to be a base hit down the right field line for Fleshman. And we've got some changes I didn't notice. I think Stacy Mitchell went back over to their right field is Michaela Spray, and I think second base is probably Berkeley McGrill now. First pitch is fouled off by Stoddard for strike 1. Watkins shakes off the first call. Now the pitch on the way and gets her to swing at a changeup. Strike 2. Try to throw down the first. Can't get it there quite in time. 0-2 count to Stoddard with 1 out, runner on first. Lumberjacks up by 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. Wind the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 as she swung right through on that fastball. 14 strikeouts now for Watkins. First pitch is going to be just over the head of the third baseman for a base hit. Going to go to the third base, and I don't think they got her. Just a single just over the head of Telford. Highfield gets over to second on the throw. So the go-ahead run, or the tying run, is going to be represented at the plate right now with Sydney Verlin, who tripled her last at bat. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. First pitch looks like it's a fastball. Misses just high, ball 1. And coach wants an intentional walk on this one. Last time Verlin was up, she hit a big triple, so coach just loads the bases and brings up the bottom of the order Ranner, who has 3 strikeouts. Now the coach wants to, for the Bears, takes a quick timeout to talk to his batter. They're getting some instruction. You got Miller from first base out talking to Watkins as they're planning this out. This chess match here. St. Mary's leads 11-8, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, bases loaded. Swing and a miss for the first pitch, and it's strike 1 to Ranner. Probably a good choice by Bitterman to put Verlin on at first. The line, the pitch, swing and a miss on a changeup on that one, it looked like. Strike 2. Oh, 2 count to Ranner. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will retire the side. Strikeout number 15 by Casey Watkins, and the Lumberjacks win this one 11-8 with some heady coaching, heads-up coaching by Bitterman there, as he knew that the batter coming up in that number 9 slot had not been having a good day. So he intentionally walked Verlin, who had just hit a triple, over to first, and they strike out Ranner to end the game. Let's take a quick look at the stats real quick. The Lumberjacks with 11 runs on 15 hits. They committed 3 errors. They left 8 on base. For the Bears, they had 8 runs, 10 hits, 3 errors that they committed, and 12 left on base. They plated 5 runs in the first inning, and then they had 3 runs, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. And that is how the Bears get their 8 runs. St. Mary's with 3 runs in the 1st, 3 runs in the 3rd, 2 runs in the 4th, 2 runs in the 6th, 1 run in the 7th to get to their 11-run win. I'm taking a look at the stats for the Moscow Bears. They batted .294, a lot better in this one than the first game. Their leading batter was, Megan Highfield batted .600. Verlin batted .500. Keys was at .500. Fleshman was at .400. And Smith was at .333. That's Sydney Smith. Jessica Smith was also .333. Their fielding percentage was .906. They did have 3 errors, 22 putouts, 7 assists in the game. And their pitcher, Stoddard, with the loss, she had 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, allowed 10 earned runs in the game. Taking a look at the Lumberjacks, they batted .405 in this one. And Lumberjacks only struck out 3 times, walked 3 times, and had the 11 hits. For Lumberjacks, Telford batted .750, Watkins .800, Gracie Barden .667, Badgett .333. Those were the leading hitters for the Lumberjacks. Holder was .200, and McGrill was .200. In the fielding, .885 for the Lumberjacks was their percentage. They had 3 errors, 21 putouts, 2 assists. And let's see, it's not telling me their chances I'm not seeing. on there. So that is how their fielding went. And the pitching, I think Casey Watkins, in theory, gets a save on this one. She had 15 strikeouts, 6 walks, did not hit anybody, and earned run average in the second game of 1.0. So a nice outing for Watkins to finish that up. Barton did strike out 1 in her inning that she pitched. She pitched the 33rd of an inning in that first inning before she was taken out in favor of Watkins. So an overall great game for the Lumberjacks as they come away with 2 wins today against the 4A Moscow Bears. And that is going to do it for us here in this game. We will go ahead and send it back to the studio. We want to thank everybody for tuning in to the game today. We'll send it back to the studio.